Probably gonna need, I don't know, I might need my phone for this. Let me grab that and come right back. And I'll need to double check that my voice can be heard. So you may hear a loop. So just bear with me a second. So just bear with me a second. Yep, we're good. Okay. We are ready to go. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay. We are doing a very short stream. I will not be racing in this stream. Instead, I want to talk about down here in the lower left-hand corner. Two events coming up that I think, in my opinion, could save GT7 for the hardcore sim racers like myself. So starting off with, a couple of days ago, my good friend Ham posted a link in the Discord and he tagged me. And he posted this link while I was at work, so I wasn't going to be able to read it then. And then I took a look at it, or I was going to take a look at it once I got out of work. And once I saw that it was a link for GT7, I just discarded it because I was like, whatever it is not going to make a difference. It's not going to change the dirty racing that goes on, and it's probably not going to change my opinion for GT7 because I have not really been all that happy with GT7. I've definitely spoke out about the dirty racing more times than I can count. Other things that I didn't really speak out about, but other YouTubers were talking about, was GT7 regurgitating the same tracks for the daily races. And then the other thing that I was not happy about relative to GT7 was in VR on PSVR 2. The reprojection. I think when it comes to all the games on PSVR 2 that uses reprojection, GT7 is arguably one of the worst. And it can be off-putting sometimes. Sometimes when I get done racing on PC, on my Quest Pro headset here, and then I come back to PSVR 2, and I see games that are reprojected, it can leave a ghost trail, or even worse yet, make the game look blurry, and sometimes that can be off-putting. So sometimes, like, you guys don't see it because I don't stream it a lot, but sometimes I'll jump into GT7 on PSVR. I'll go into a daily race. I'm already bothered by the reprojection if I happen to get up on the wrong side of the bed, and then as soon as somebody knocks me off the track, I just shut the console off. And because if my memory serves me correct, at one point I was a A driver, in the A class, but dirty racing and a couple of DNFs knocked me all the way back down to C, and I'm on the road to recovery. I am now a B class racer, hoping to get back into the A class. So going back to the post that Ham made in the Discord that I discarded, it was regarding the Nations Cup and the Manufacturers Cup. And again, I didn't bother to read it because I figured it's not going to change the dirty racing that's going on. So today, Rory Alexander just posted a video, and on the thumbnail it said "Dirty Racing is no more," and I'm like, whoa, I gotta see what this is about. And he spoke about the Nations and the Manufacturers Cup, and he went over what this is going to consist of. And from there, even though he didn't outright mention it, but from there you were able to deduct how this is going to eliminate or reduce the dirty racing. So the Nations Cup and the Manufacturers Cup, I really don't pay too much attention to that. The only time I even pay attention to it is whenever they had the tournaments with, the big YouTubers, the big racers, Igor Fraga, Coque Lopez and stuff. When those guys compete in those races, then I watch, because I know I'm going to see a competitive race that's going to be hard and clean and nothing that's intentionally dirty. So when I saw this, the Nations Cup and the Manufacturers Cup, with it, I just figured, okay, different race series, same bullshit. Still going to be people racing dirty. It's not going to eliminate the dirty racing. So I didn't have any interest in it until I watched Rory's video about an hour ago where he broke it down. So I want to do the same thing. I want to break down the nations in the Manufacturers Cup and show you guys how this is going to reduce or eliminate the dirty racing. And in my opinion, for the hardcore sim racers, it may save this game, because one of the things the hardcore sim racers have been they've been dealing with dirty racing, because it happens on all levels. But over in the A class, you have one Kimi Vellicini, who is arguably the dirtiest and most famous dirty racer on GT7. And numerous YouTubers have complained that Polyphony Digital have not done anything about this guy. And he's been dirty racing for God knows how long, knocking people off the tracks. And so, who knows? You may not see him in this Manufacturer series, given what it consists of. So let's go into what this is. Hopefully you guys can see this, where it says read full text. I'm hoping it will let you guys see the full text, and it won't take us to a web page. So I'm just waiting real quick and see what happens when I click on this.
Good afternoon, my friend.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Well, it is not appearing to let you guys see what this is, because it looks like when you click on read text, it's putting it in like a web page format. It's not showing it. So I'll just read it for you guys and then just explain to you what it means as I read it. So
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. We are pleased to announce that we will be hosting the 23-24 exhibition series for the Manufacturers Cup of the Gran Turismo World Series from September 16th to November 11th. Race details and schedule for each round are as below. So, race schedule and entry slots, so that's number one. You have the GT1 League, and I think the GT1 League will consist of the top racers, people in the A class. And then you have the GT2 and the GT3 leagues, which I think will consist of the intermediate racers, and then the GT3s will probably be the novice or low-skilled people. And there are schedules for this. So all rounds for the GT1 League will happen at 1400 hours, 1600 hours, and 1800 hours PST, Pacific time. GT2 and GT3 leagues, all rounds will happen, it looks like every hour, starting at 7 a.m. PST. So it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 1800 hours. And then it says players may enter the event 15 minutes before the start time. Effective points. That's bullet point number 2. These points from the best 3 rounds will count towards the final score. Please note that while players may join multiple race slots during a round, only the points from the last race entered will count for that round. So you can do this as many times as you want, but only the points from the last race that you did, those points will count towards your total, your point total. So at the moment, I'm not seeing what people will win for winning this series. I hope they do something like maybe give somebody a Legends car or something. Like the Sauber Mercedes. I think that car costs $4 million in the Legends dealership. So maybe they could, whoever wins that, maybe they could give that to them. Give them a rare Legends car. I think just, for a suggestion. So, race schedule. Round one is scheduled to take place September 16th. The car used is a car from your garage, and it will be in the Group 3 category, which is GT3, which is right up my alley. BOP, tuning prohibited, on mid-speed. So I'll not exactly sure what that means. Car settings, partially allowed. Suspension, partial, and brake balance. This track will be at Suzuka, which I do happen to like that track. Usable tires and types will be hard. Required tire type change, none. So you will not be required to use a different compound. Number of pit stops is none. That right there doesn't sound like it may sound a little bit off-putting, but actually pits could come into play. Qualifying time, 5 minutes. Fuel consumption rate for the qualifier, it will be off. That's on fuel consumption. Tire wear rate for the qualifier, it will be 2 times for the GT1 league, and it will be turned off for GT2 and GT3 leagues. This will be for the qualifier. So tire wear, that's interesting. For the GT1 league, the tire wear will be 2 times. So I wonder if so since there's going to be tire wear for the qualifier, I wonder if you'll be able to take those same tires into the actual race, or will they allow you to change tires before the race starts? I don't know. That's interesting. Now the next three qualifications that I'm about to read off, this is what plays into the dirty racing part. Number of laps. For the GT1 league, it will be 35 laps. And for GT2 and GT3 leagues, it will be 15 laps. So they are already addressing one issue that people were complaining about. People wanted endurance races on GT7, and they haven't really gotten them. The only way you could get endurance races is like you might have a couple of races on the daily races that might be 10 or 12 laps. But here, 35 laps for the GT1s. So let's see here. Fuel consumption for the final will be 1 time, and tire wear rate final will be 2 times. So even though you're not required to go into the pits, with a tire wear rate of 2 times over a 35 lap race, there's a good chance you are probably going to have to go into the pits. Mechanical damage. This is definitely where the dirty racing comes into play. Mechanical damage. For the GT1 leagues, the damage will be heavy. For the GT2 and GT3 leagues, the damage will be light. And that is absolutely huge, because the damage will be permanent. And so the race schedule, let me see here. We've got, I'll go back to the race schedule. So the first race takes place September 16th. Round 2 takes place September 30th, 2 weeks later. Round 3 takes place October 14th. So all these races will be on Saturday. And round 4, the final round, will be October 28th, tracks. Let's see, I already mentioned that. The first one will be Suzuka. I'm definitely going to enter that one. The second one on September 30th will be Dragon Trail Seaside, but in reverse. I prefer the standard Dragon Trail, but I still like the reverse one, so I'll probably enter that one. Let's see here. Usable tire types for that race will be hard, medium, and soft. Let's see here. Let's see about the pits. No pit time required, but let's see here. What do we got here? Laps. Number of laps. For GT1, it's 34 laps. For GT2 and 3, 15 laps. Tire wear. Wow. See, so fuel consumption for the qualifier will be off, but the tire wear rate qualifier for the GT1 league will be 4 times. That's for the qualifier, and it's off for GT2 league. But looks like the actual rate itself, consumption rate for GT, let's see here, will be 2 times. Huh. Whoa. Fuel consumption rate will be 2 times for the GT1 league and 6 times for GT2 and GT3. With this being a 15-lap race, you will definitely have to come into the pits. Tire wear rate for the race, 4 times for GT1, 1 time for GT2 and GT3. So you might only have to change tires once. If you go with soft tires, you're probably going to have to make 2 pit stops. So I think that a lot of the racers are probably going to opt for hard tires that race. So the lap times may be a little bit slower. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a chess match with the tire choice as well as pit strategy. A third round, this will take place at the Nürburgring 24-hour Nordschleife. I probably will not enter that. Because I have a tremendous amount of, respect and appreciation for the history of the Nordschleife, but I'm just not. It's just too big of a track and too many turns to have to remember. So I'll sit that one out. And the fourth and let me see. There's 5 rounds here. What track are we at? Round 4 will be at Grand Valley Highway 1. I'll probably enter that one. And round 5 will take place at what track? Barcelona. Oh yeah, definitely going in that one. No chicane, which is normally a GT3 layout. 16 laps for GT2 and GT3. Fuel consumption times 2. Tire wear times 5. So there's definitely going to be a pit stop. At least one. And this race is going to be on the hards. And that's it. And that's it. So over here on the Nations Cup, I'm not going to read through that because it's basically the same. The only thing that's really different is that you're going to be using event specified cars. Yeah, the tire wear and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Bottom line is, it's basically going to be the same as the manufacturer's cup. It's just that you're going to be using event specified cars. So I don't really see myself participating in that. But the Nations Cup, Me the manufacturers cup. Yeah, try to take place in all of those races except Nordschleife. Um, and yeah, the fuel consumption, the tire rate, the number of laps, and most importantly, the damage. The damage will be permanent. And the only way you can repair the damage is you will have to come into the pits. Um, so any dirty racers better be sure they can do it in a manner where they can take someone out without receiving damage to their own cars. Oh boy, looks like okay, I saw a buffer there for a second. So because of that, it will definitely bring me back to GT7, although it could be in a limited form. Um, so yeah, I'm glad they're doing something. I'm glad they're doing something because I was beginning to question whether other than I don't know, maybe adding a car here or there or adding a track here or there, I was beginning to wonder how much they still are committed to this game. And I was definitely I had already written them off as far as the dirty racing goes because I figured they're just not going to do anything about it. And I kind of felt like that there was probably not much they could do about it because the penalty system, I'm assuming, is baked in, and I think the only way they could overhaul the penalty system is they would have to tear the game down, uh, revamp the penalty system, and then rebuild the game again. And they definitely not going to do that. Um, as far as a total revamping of the penalty system, I don't think that's going to happen until the next iteration of Gran Turismo, whether it be a GT7 Sport or Gran Turismo 8. So, but this manufacturer's cup, that will definitely reduce some of the dirty racing. Is if I'm lucky enough to make it to the GT1 league, that will eliminate all the dirty racing altogether. So, so that is cool, and that's kind of it. I did not plan to race because I actually have to leave in about 45 minutes to take my son home. But I'd like to do a stream later on this evening because the LFM race for ACC is Imola, or as I call it, Imola, which my UK friends laugh at me when I call it Imola. As with them, it's called Imola. Um, I like that track. I got some practice on it yesterday, and I actually set a personal best, a fast enough lap that I think would make me competitive in the mid tiers, in the mid splits like a split 2 or a split 3. So the big thing about the low field motorsports on Sundays is that the servers are mostly in the UK and in Germany. So by the time I get home from dropping my son off, the UK and Germany will pretty much be asleep. So that's the bottom line. Um, if I do stream one of those races, it depends on if there's enough people entered in the race. Because if it's only 3 or 4 people entered in the race, then I don't see any point in getting in the race. But if there's at least 10 people or more entered into the race, then yeah, I'll stream it. But there won't be any advanced notification. It just if I see that enough people have entered the race, then I'll go live and just go from there. So, but if it doesn't happen today, I'll definitely do some kind of stream tomorrow or Tuesday. Also, I think tomorrow we'll find out what the new daily race is for GT7. That's also a possibility. I could possibly do that after I drop my son off. Right now for the daily race, let me have a look. I think we're still on Suzuka. Oh, and I got a roulette ticket. I guess I'll open it in a second, but I think we're still at Suzuka. Yeah, and we're on hards. I'm not entering this. I just want to see if any of my friends have competed in this race and see if any of them have beat my lap times. All right. Yeah, 3 more of my friends have entered. They set qualifying laps. Comfort hard. What is comfort mediums? What the hell is that? Okay, so that's a possibility. If I don't do the LFM race, then doing a Suzuka race on GT7 is a possibility for PSVR 2. So yeah, we'll go from there. With that, I'm going to go ahead and boogie out of here. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to joining this Manufacturers Cup and get in there and do some good, clean, hard racing and some endurance racing too. 15 laps sounds pretty good. So with that, I'm going to boogie on out of here. I want to thank you all for watching and hope to see you all in a few hours after I get home from dropping my son off. And until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. See you, everybody. Have a good one.